Committee of Parliament. His accusation followed a rebuttal by Dr. Aini during a press conference on April 30, 2025, that's yesterday, where he denied initial allegations made by A+ concerning corruption-related matters. A+ stated, "No, that is not true. My information is that you went to beg for 500,000 Ghana cedis, claiming you were going to use it to bribe the Appointment Committee of Parliament. And for your information, you are not the only one. If you are old, I will reset your brain, man." Dr. Aini had explained during the press conference that he had not engaged in any corruption, but had rather sought campaign funds from one Mr. Sledge. He further elaborated, "A+ warned me in his post not to do anything silly, and I threatened to come after me if I did. This is laughable." He added, "The threat is laughable because I have nothing to hide. I am reliably informed that his basis for accusing me of corruption and theft is that I received campaign contributions from a businessman. He also claims to know the people who donated pickups for my campaign." Dr. Aini continued, "If receiving donations for your campaign or getting a pickup for campaign purposes is considered theft or corruption, then there are 276 thieves in Parliament, including the person making the allegation." My producer is going to get in contact with A+ so that we put him on the line and speak with him. Yes. Now, related to this one is this other one I'm about to read. From Ghana Web, it says, "Inside the Attorney General versus A+ clash, who is Dr. Sledge?" And I read, "A public dispute between the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Aini, and the Member of Parliament for Gomoa Central, Kwame Asario, being popularly known as A+, has brought Ghanaian businessman Dr. Sledge into the spotlight." Now the feud, centered on allegations of corruption, has sparked widespread public interest, with Dr. Sledge's name emerging as a key figure in the controversy. Now, during a press conference on Wednesday, April 30, 2025, Dr. Aini responded to claims made by A+, who had accused him of corruption in a social media post. Now, A+ alleged on Facebook that Dr. Aini manipulated the drafting and passage of the Sanitation and Pollution Levy in 2021 for personal gain while in opposition, claiming Aini restructured the leadership of a parliamentary committee to benefit a close associate. Oh gosh. However, Dr. Aini vehemently denied the accusations, describing them as baseless and challenging A+ to provide evidence. "I am aware of allegations made by the Honorable Kwame Asario, being MP for Gomoa Central, known as A+, who called me corrupt and a thief on social media, claiming I received campaign contributions from a businessman, Dr. Sledge, and others who donated pickups. These allegations are baseless. I was not involved in the passage of the Sanitation Levy, nor was I a member of Parliament's Finance Committee. I have the votes and proceedings of Parliament to support this. If receiving campaign donations constitutes corruption, then all 276 MPs, including Mr. Obing, would be implicated. I challenge him to present evidence of my alleged corruption to the police or hold a press conference. He should also clarify his knowledge of the National Service ghost name scandal and related matters. In my hometown of Zuarungo, we confront falsehoods directly And I am prepared to do so with Mr. Obing, Dr. Aini stated. But who exactly is Mr. Sledge, Dr. Sledge? Dr. Sledge was born Nana Yaududu. He is a prominent Ghanaian businessman and the founder of Gold Ridge Ghana Limited. He's also the CEO. It's a wholly owned integrated gold company operating in the small-scale mining sector. With over a decade of experience, Dr. Sledge has established himself as a key player in Ghana's gold industry. Notably, in 2019, he exported 1.2 tons of gold worth over 60 million American dollars, making him the largest indigenous gold exporter in the country at the time. He serves as a board member of the Shanti Corps and Magnate Holding Company in Hong Kong, and was appointed by the United Nations as Ghana's ambassador for zero mercury in gold mining, in line with the Minamata Convention. Dr. Sledge is no stranger to public attention. In fact, in 2019, he and his wife, Amadia, made headlines when they purchased the first copy of Shatta Wale's The Rain album for 150,000 Ghana cedis. His lavish lifestyle, including a luxurious East Legon mansion and a fleet of exotic cars such as Ferrari 458 Italia, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Bentley Flying Spur, and Mercedes Maybach S-Class has been very widely documented. In December 2024, Dr. Sledge captured the spotlight at Sarkodie's Rapaholic concert by arriving with 8 high-end vehicles worth millions of dollars, further solidifying his reputation for extravagance. There have been suggestions that Dr. Sledge is a serial campaign financier who over the years has supported various political figures in Ghana. However, despite his name surfacing at the center of the standoff between Dr. Aini and A+, Dr. Sledge has yet to publicly comment on the matter. For a reason, I like what A+ is doing. My brother, we should never be afraid to speak truth to power. My brother, my sister, many have taught in the past and still believe. My brother, believe that A+ might be in bed with the majority in parliament. And what is the majority in parliament? The NDC. He is an independent candidate who has worked so hard, my brother, my sister, to be able to reach where he is. He can decide either to be on the side of the majority or the minority. But it looks like he has taken sides to be with the majority side. My brother, my sister, I will urge President John Dramani to look at this very seriously. If it comes out that the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, 2 in 1, is culpable, is guilty of asking for 500,000 Ghana cedis to be used to bribe the appointment committee in Parliament. My brother, my sister, this man must be sent to Zwarungu, stripped naked, to walk in shame amongst the honorable people of this great area in Bolgatanga. I'm glad that he mentioned Zwarungu. Now, the people of Zwarungu, my brother, my sister, are very, very, very humble and decent. It's the same place RLG is coming from. Roland Agambire. I have always loved Zwarungu because of the honesty of the people, the humility of the people. If it comes out that Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Aini. He's actually culpable, or better still found guilty of, my brother, my sister, asking for 500,000 Ghana cedis to be used as bribe money to bribe the appointment committee in parliament, to sway injustice, my brother, my sister, to him and his favorites. Then, my brother, my sister, he should be fired immediately and be prosecuted for bribery. President Mahama has a lot of work to do. He has so much work to do. All the people who did not meet the deadline for declaring their assets, please let us find out if they do not have any tangible official reason for not meeting the deadline. Please stick to your word, Mr. President. Sack them. If the whole president of the republic has been able to declare his assets and liabilities, who are you, a little rat, to run away from declaring your own assets? If you don't have any tangible reason, official reason, my brother, my sister, fire all of them, like you said, Mr. President. That way people will take you serious. My brother, my sister, many people see President Mahama as a very, very sympathetic, or better still, empathetic man. But if people must take you serious, you must crack the whip. You must show people that you could be as hard as lead and as soft as a pillow. As for Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Aini, my brother, my sister, I am glad that this is coming out. Nobody is above the law. Now, the Attorney General has said something at the end of his press conference, and it's interesting. He's asking A+, and I want to read it without actually missing out anything. My brother, my sister, what did he say? I need you to come along so we look at it properly. Jesus have mercy. He said that A+ should also clear the air concerning the NSS ghost names. Remember a few weeks ago, we were told that A+ was actually fingered in that scandal. National Service Secretariat paid him some money, allegedly, so that he would sway conversations concerning the National Service Secretariat ghost names. We need to investigate this seriously. We have to reset the nation properly. And to reset the nation, we have to be more serious and more proactive. Can we investigate this issue? And if the Attorney General is found guilty, please fire him, prosecute him, and let him suffer for betraying this nation. Again, A+. I'm happy you are saying all you are saying. My producer's trying to get in contact with A+, so that at least we'll be able to put him online and speak to him concerning these allegations and even more. As to when we get him online, my brother, my sister, we shall hear from the horse's own mouth. In the interim, I am so happy that one man can be bold enough to throw out these allegations, and he is saying that he knows what he's talking about. 500,000 Ghana cedis. Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Aini demanded the money to bribe the parliamentary appointment committee. This is so serious. And as a serious nation, we need to go headlong into this to keep our democracy clean and strong. Now, my brother, my sister, there is another thing here I would like to share with you, and I need you to come along. I'm reading this from my Joy Online, and it says, I did not kid myself that I would win Galamsey fight in 4 months. And this is President Mahama speaking. President John Dramani Mahama says he never convinced himself that the fight against illegal mining known as Galamsey could be won in just 4 months of his administration. Now, speaking at the May Day celebration held at the Blakk Rasta Square on Thursday, May 1, President Mahama addressed concerns about the government's efforts to tackle illegal mining, admitting the challenge is far more complex than many assume. Now, the fight against Galamsey is a complex one. And when I was vying for the presidency, I did not kid myself that when I come into office, I will win that fight in 4 months. Yet, we will not give up, he said. He highlighted the efforts of the Ghana Armed Forces and other security agencies, who he said are making steady progress in the fight against illegal mining. Our gallant men of the armed forces and security services are up to the fight, and we will continue to score successes against the selfish companies and individuals who are destroying our forests and polluting our water bodies, the president stated. He also reaffirmed his commitment to seeing the fight through. As far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned, I say a luta continua, he said. I like what President Mahama is saying. Yes, the fight is difficult. I said I was going to win the fight in 4 months. Of course, I did not kid myself. Of course, it is far more complex than many people think. But we shall still win. A luta continua. What is the complexity in the Galamsey fight? That party members are involved in it, that politicians are deep neck in it, or what is the complexity all about? That people who gave out money during the campaign, that these people, my brother, my sister, are those who are engaged in this Galamsey. In other words, we have no conscience at all as a people. Kill millions to make your trillions, and that is enough to wash away your sins. I am so disgusted at this thought. My brother, my sister, Mr. President promised 4 months in his presidency, Galamsey will be history. We hold you to that, Mr. President. We are not here to listen to, oh, it's more complex than I thought. No. Anybody can say that. You did not assess it properly before saying that in 4 months Galamsey will be over. Any dirty politician could say that. It's all about Ghana. Mr. President, don't say that. You did not examine it properly before you came out and said that in 4 months you would make Galamsey history in this country. The positive thing about what the president is saying is that a luta continua. Please, we hold you to your word. 4 months. We don't want to see Galamsey in this country. No matter how complex it is, you made that promise and it must come to pass. Or else we will see that as a campaign lie in order to win elections. I don't think that was what you meant, Mr. President. You truly want to deal with Galamsey? You truly want to deal with this? Mr. President, deal with Galamsey. In fact, it's the nation's heartbeat to see Galamsey come to an end. Mr. President, what would it profit you if you did everything to please Ghanaians, yet the water bodies are polluted, flora and fauna destroyed? That will come back barking and biting the same citizens whose lives you claim to try to uplift. They will die from the Galamsey nonsense. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose the fight against Galamsey, which indirectly is killing millions in this country by the ticking of the clock? I don't know how many people agree with me, but my brother, my sister, it is what it is. You said 4 months, Mr. President. Keep your word. Mr. President, you said by the 31st of March, those who will not be able to declare their assets, they will be punished, including and not limited to removal from office. Please crack the whip so Ghanaians can take you more seriously. Remember, Mr. President, it's a heritage, it's a legacy you want to live by. You can't reset the country being soft. You can't reset the country on failing to deliver on your promise. I leave it here. There's a final thing I want to look at, and I need you to come along. My brother, my sister, I'm reading this from my Joy Online, and it says, power crisis to deepen as car power threatens shutdown in 7 days. And this is Energy Minister talking. And I read, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition has revealed that Ghana is on the brink of a power crisis with car power ship, a major power supplier, threatening to shut down within 7 days over unpaid bills. This move could cripple an already struggling energy sector, pushing the country closer to a potential blackout. Now, speaking on Joy News 6 PM Express, the minister detailed the staggering 1.7 billion American dollar debt the government inherited in the energy sector. This includes significant arrears owed to major energy players such as Car Power Ship, Asogli Power, and Send Power. Yesterday, I received a letter from Car Power Ship, and they have threatened to shut down the plant in 7 days due to the unpaid bills we inherited. As you can see, the debt portfolios include 297 billion American dollars owed to Asogli, 220 million, in fact 297 million, not billion, 297 million dollars owed to Asogli, 220 million dollars owed to SNIT, SNIT, 423 million American dollars owed to Send Power, and 371 million American dollars to Car Power Ship. When you add all of them, the total debt inherited amounts to 1.7 billion. We have been exploring every possible avenue to negotiate with them for some breathing room, but they have made it clear that they will not budge. The minister also highlighted the growing financial strain on the sector, with the total debt exceeding 80 billion Ghana cedis. He warned that if the crisis is not addressed soon, the country's power sector would collapse entirely. Yabo! My brother, I am not going to go back and blame Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia for amassing a debt of 1.7 billion American dollars. Listen, when you are on your campaign trail to win elections, don't be quick to make promises all over the place. And then you come into power and say, oh, you know what? We didn't really look at how deep the problem was. That is so nauseating. I hate to hear that. This makes me angry. And when I get angry, I get angry. Why do we keep shifting blames every now and then? The NPP was most impotent. Under the dwarfish president Nana Akufo-Addo, we saw the nation descend into some autocracy. We saw the nation descend into total arrogance. No patriotism. We saw that. So we voted these dirty guys out of power and brought in the decent guys. The last thing I want to hear is a referencing or a citation of these guys. We didn't want them. We kicked them out. You said you will deal with the economy. Deal with it. Deal with it, Mr. President. Now, the first thing Mr. Mahama should have done was to look at the power sector. My brother, my sister, it gave Mr. Mahama a very bad name some years back. Dumso became the middle name of Mr. Mahama. So first thing Mr. Mahama should have done was to look at the energy sector before going on the campaign trail, wanting to be president again, so that we will not repeat the bad name of this thing called Dumso. Today, when you look around, yes, we have power issues, power going off in some areas. I've experienced it, but it's early days yet. So we can say, okay, the government is adjusting because there are debts left, right, and center. But if energy minister can come and tell me that this debt was left behind, and for that matter, the nation will shut down in terms of power in 7 days, I am angry. I am angry. Fix the problem. That's why you were brought here. You were not brought here to explain to us what happened, and therefore we have to go through a certain kind of punishment. We brought you here to save us from the punishment. If you couldn't do it, you shouldn't have gone on the campaign trail. I'm not happy to hear this. Remember, it was predicted by the dirty NPP party that was in power before it left that Dumso was going to hit us just a week after Mahama took power. You've been able to deal with it. Mr. President was praising you all over the place, Energy Minister, for dealing with the issue. Please don't play coward. We must deal with the issue. Yes, Ghanaians asked you to come and explain why we are having these power issues, but you've taken it to another level. Apart from the, pockets of Dumso that we are having around, you are now telling us in 7 days the whole country would come to a certain halt. Mr. President, I don't know how you're going to deal with this, but the way your energy minister is approaching this is cowardly. Men must stand in the face of the tempest, fight it, hook, line, and sinker. Yes, you have told us the next thing this minister should have said. Simple. Despite the fact that we have this issue, this government promises that it shall be resolved. That is how a leader talks. A leader does not preach doom to his followers. That is cowardice. You don't lead an army and say that, okay, Now we are going into an area where there are tempests, where the soldiers are extremely wild. Therefore, we should get ready for mass deaths. That's a weak leader. Is a visionless leader. Is a negligent leader. Is an irresponsible leader. In fact, it's not a leader at all. It's a misleader. You know what the leader should say? This area is noted for tempests. This area is noted for storms, wild storms. This area has soldiers who are very, very, very well equipped. But we are better off. You know why? Because we have a strategy that they don't have. In order to deal with whatever power and might they have, this is the strategy we're going to take. That is how a leader speaks. You don't lead an army into a tempest and leave them to their own destiny. That's a weak leader. With all respect, John Abujinapo, I love you so much. I don't like your brother, Samuel Abujinapo, because he was the worst leader. In fact, the worst minister in the regime of Nana Akufo-Addo. In his tenure of office, we saw Galamsey rise to the acme. Idiots and fools, my brother, my sister, came on TV showing raw gold that they made from hurting and killing several Ghanaians whose names will never be known. In your regime, we saw forestry bosses stealing lands and giving that in their wills forever and ever. I don't like Samuel Abujinapo. He's an irresponsible leader, a minister who should have never been a minister. If you want to follow in his same direction, then be ready. John Abujinapo, I don't like this rhetoric. I don't know if I'm older than you or you are older than me. It doesn't really matter. My brother, listen to wise counsel. This is not how a leader talks. I'll leave it here.
Ya waleta matam sanga.